Part 1: The Cipher of Kings. In the silent, candlelit chamber of a 16th-century French home, a quill moves with purpose. Its master, Michel de Nostradamus, is not writing letters. He is encoding the future. His Prophecies, a collection of cryptic, poetic quatrains, have become one of history's greatest enigmas. Among his most compelling and chilling predictions are those that detail the spectacular rises and tragic falls of Europe's monarchs. He writes of a figure he calls Hister, a ferocious leader who would emerge from the heart of the continent. Centuries later, this single obscure name would send a shiver down the spine of the modern world. An almost perfect anagram for a name that would become synonymous with ultimate evil, Hitler. The parallels in the verses to the Führer's rise are staggering. Is this a mere linguistic coincidence? A trick of history? Or a deliberate warning etched into time by a man who saw the shadows of tomorrow? This is the first step into a labyrinth of mystery. Part 2: The Pierced Eye and the Sun King's Rise. The precision of Nostradamus's visions deepens with a prophecy that seems to foretell a king's death with gruesome accuracy. He describes a young lion overcoming an older one on the field of war, a golden cage, and most horrifically, the king's eyes being pierced through. Now, step into the year 1649. King Charles I of England, whose royal standard featured the lion, is defeated, imprisoned, and executed. The golden cage was his gilded prison. The historical record confirms a macabre detail. After the axe fell, the executioner held up the severed head, and one of the pikes accidentally pierced the king's eye. The correlation is direct and visceral. From this fall, Nostradamus foresaw a rise. He wrote of a child of France who would command a great empire, a ruler of such magnificence that all of Europe would be in his shadow. This is a perfect portrait of Louis XIV, the Sun King. How could a man in the 1500s so clearly envision the specific brand of absolute power and grandeur that would define the reign of a king not yet born? Part 3: The Doomed Queen and the Phantom Heir. The drama of the French Revolution unfolds in Nostradamus's verses like a pre-written tragedy. He writes of a lady of a great kingdom who is brought low, her husband's people turning against her. He describes her futile flight, her capture, and her final journey, naked and en chemise, to a place where the sharp blade awaits. This is a stark, clinical description of the fate of Marie Antoinette, the Austrian Queen of France, hated by the people, her attempted escape to Varennes thwarted, and her eventual execution by guillotine. The phrase en chemise is hauntingly accurate. It was recorded that on her way to the scaffold, the queen was forced to wear a simple white shift, a stark and humiliating garment. But not all prophecies are so clear. This is where conspiracy flourishes. He spoke of a hidden prince, a son of the lily, who survives. This refers to the lost dauphin, Louis Charles, son of Marie Antoinette, who officially died in prison in 1795. Yet Nostradamus's words fuel a persistent theory that the boy escaped. Was he predicting not a death, but a survival? A secret royal bloodline that continued in shadow, a truth suppressed by those who could not risk a legitimate king returning? Part 4: The Modern Monarchs and the Conspiracy of Codes. The long reach of Nostradamus's prophecies seems to extend into the modern era, where leaders hold power akin to monarchs. He wrote of two brothers torn apart by chaos, and later of a city of 7 hills that would be involved. Conspiracy theorists have forcefully applied this to the assassination of President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert. They were the two brothers, And while Dallas is not on 7 hills, Rome is. The connection, the alleged involvement of the Italian mafia, a hidden hand from the city of 7 hills, pulling the strings in a modern-day regicide. This speculative leap demonstrates how the quatrains are constantly reinterpreted. This leads to the grandest conspiracy of all. The idea that Nostradamus was not working alone. Was he part of a secret society, a keeper of ancient knowledge? His methods, a blend of astrology, scrying, and cryptic wordplay, suggest a mind trained in esoteric traditions. Perhaps the prophecies are not predictions for the public, but a coded message for initiates, a map of a predetermined future that only a select few can read and, perhaps, manipulate. Part 5. The Philosophical Abyss and Our Reflection. So, what are we to make of this collection of astonishing hits amidst a sea of vague and unverifiable misses? The skeptic argues it is all apophenia, the human tendency to find patterns in randomness. We connect the dots after the fact, bending the cryptic words of a 16th-century poet to fit the narrative we already know. His language is so ambiguous it becomes a mirror. Yet, the seeker remains unsettled. The specific, visceral details, the pierced eye of King Charles, the white shift of Marie Antoinette, are hard to dismiss as mere coincidence. They nag at the edges of our understanding of time and causality. Perhaps Nostradamus tapped into what Carl Jung called the collective unconscious, a realm where the archetypes of history, the tyrant, the fallen queen, the glorious king, play out their eternal roles. He didn't see specific names and dates, but the deep, recurring patterns of human destiny. The ultimate lesson of Nostradamus is not about fortune-telling. It is about us, our deep-seated fear of the uncertain future and our desperate desire to find order in the chaos of existence. The prophecies hold up a dark mirror to our own psyche. If the future is already written, what is the point of our struggle? But if it is not, then the true power of prophecy lies in our own hands, in the choices we make. The real mystery Nostradamus leaves us with is not about the fate of long-dead monarchs, but about the nature of time itself, and our own role in shaping it. The final quatrain, it seems, is ours to write,